Hi, everyone. Today we'll be talking about adaptive testing system for content preparation as well as a licensure exam preparation. So we will focus on two issues: content mastery and the licensure exam preparation. Traditionally, professors tend to use publisher-provided textbook quizzes. So they are commonly used and they are very easy to incorporate to current teaching materials and easy to distribute and to test students' understanding about the course materials. But there are some problems with this approach. For example, as you know, they can easily find online, or if you use the ebook, students can quickly find them on ebook. So that creates a problem that the test is not really authentic in that we don't really know students' knowledge ability. So in addition to that, there are also problems with these quizzes are not tailored to your classes. For example, maybe there are certain topics that you'd like to focus on, but the quizzes are too broad. In addition, they also focus more on the basic skill like recall memorization, not the critical thinking skills that we're trying to foster. And these are some issues that we're starting to see more commonly in the classroom. But in terms of a licensure exam preparation, that's also a big problem. For example, in many programs, they may buy published exams. Those published exams can be very old. They may not be so up to date. In addition, nowadays, more and more licensure exams are administered through computers, and they are what is called adaptive system. Here, adaptive, in that it is not a static delivery of quizzes or questions for a licensure exam. Instead, the questions are delivered in a way that is adaptive, focused on zooming on students' specific cognitive level. If the student gets the question right, they get a more difficult question. If they get it wrong, they get an easier question. So as you can see through this kind of algorithm, the system can quickly zoom in students' ability. So instead of spending, say, 3 hours and 30 questions, this kind of system has the ability to quickly identify students' ability. So in the past, it is very difficult to do this kind of adaptive system because it requires extensive test bank. So nowadays, with the readily available artificial intelligence system, we are able to tackle this issue much more efficiently. So what we are going to do is to do two things. One, we're going to create our own test bank. And two, we're going to develop a computer adaptive system. So these are the two things that we will do. So why do we do these two things? One, a self-made, homemade quiz test bank would allow you to build your own multiple question, or you can also do essays. In the past, it is very laborious for a professor to do high-quality quizzes or essay questions, but with the assistance of artificial intelligence, we are able to develop a lot of questions in a much more efficient manner. But there's a caveat here. So say, for example, hey, ChatGPT, give me 50 questions for a particular subject. That doesn't really work. Researchers have found that if you simply ask an AI to give you some quiz for the class uses, these questions turn to be very low quality. So in a way, you need to do more prompt engineering so that the questions are high quality. So you need to ground your prompt based on some well-known existing testing theories like Bloom's taxonomy. So if you use this kind of guidance to tell AI, instead of simply asking for, hey, give me 50 questions, you use a certain framework like Bloom's taxonomy. And then after the quiz are produced, you have experts to check the validity, reliability, And through multiple iterations, you would be able to get a more accurate, high-quality quizzes, and they are more up-to-date to the current licensure standards. So again, the first step to prepare students for content mastery and a licensure exam, what we are trying to do here is first create our own test bank. We use artificial intelligence to do that, but it's not as simple as simply tell AI to do it for us, but rather it is an iterative process that we use well-established testing theories to guide us to develop high-quality questions. So as you can imagine, as a professor or students, with this extensive test bank, like say 500, you would be able to have a quiz bank, test bank that's tailored to your content areas that you want to focus on, as well as focus on the particular areas that is going to be tested by the licensure exams. So that's the first step that we use to build our adaptive system. So now with the test bank ready, we would need to put this in a platform like a typical course management system to deliver the quizzes. So as I mentioned earlier, what is called computer adaptive system is that instead of giving extensive quizzes, like 300 quizzes that takes 3 hours, an adaptive system, CAT, it starts with a medium level difficulty, and then it's based on the respondent answer, given more challenging or more easier question, and give grade accordingly. So that kind of adaptive system requires a computer program to identify the level of difficulty of each question, as well as real time identify students' ability, and then give an appropriate quiz accordingly. So the benefit is that you can see it is much more precise, a much more precise measurement, and because they are tailored, it does not take as much time as in the past. And because it knows the level of cognitive ability, the feedback is immediate, so students know how well they are doing. The professor can monitor the progress and give any intervention as well. And in addition, these questions, because they are based on the huge test bank you just developed, so each student may get different questions, so it also minimizes the problem of academic misconduct. So how do we do the adaptive system? In the past, it is very difficult to develop such a computer programming, but with AI, we would be able to simply ask AI to develop such a system. As you can see, this entire program is written by an AI system, and you can see here like 1, 3. These are level of questions that were identified. So what do we need to do to develop an adaptive system to develop and deliver the extensive quizzes that you need? Question bank, we just talked about that. We can use GPT to develop that. And through the content expert validation, we would be able to get high quality questions. And second, we don't want to just throw all the entire 500 questions to students, but instead, with these kind of computer programs, again, you don't need to have any specific program skills, but rather most AI would be able to deliver the system. It will automatically take the quiz bank question from the quiz test bank and deliver to the screen. So that is the algorithm, adaptive algorithm. And then we set the output on a typical course management system like D2L Blackboard. And from there, students would be able to take the quiz just like what they do in a real exam. So this is an example. So this part of the screen is based on the quiz that was previously developed. And through the AI system, the adaptive program, it delivers question one at a time. But it's not a static question like in the past. Instead, these questions are delivered based on student prior response. If they are correct, then get a more difficult question. And then they got a question wrong, they get an easier question. So you can see together with the quiz bank, huge quiz bank, and the adaptive system, we would be able to help students to customize their learning path to ensure the system help in a way to help identify the weakness of the students' knowledge base that the professor need to focus on, the students need to work on. And the system is a real-time adapting students' cognitive level through this adaptive system, so students would be able to know in a much faster and quick manner to get the feedback much more in time so that they can improve their learning experience throughout the semester. And the system, as you can see, this user interface, you can customize this in a way that simulates the real licensure exam. So this system is more than just enhance the content comprehension, but specifically because now students get a chance to use the adaptive system before they take the actual real licensure exam. They know how it works, and then they have the experience looking at the entire simulated environment, how that works. This gives students a huge advantage to prepare their confidence as well as their knowledge. So, like for example, this kind of system can help undergraduates to prepare LSAT, or for law school students to prepare the bar exams, or for nursing students to prepare their nurse exams, which is adaptive. So that is the beauty of using AI to first create a huge test bank that is customized to the professor's content need. And then we use the AI to develop an adaptive system that helps students to know not only the content, but also know prepare the licensure exam. So this system is, because it's not content dependent, you can see this can be adapted to many kind of disciplines as well as many licensure programs. I hope this helps. Thank you.